There is one verse that is possibly the most misunderstood and misrepresented verse in the entire Bible. And you've probably heard this before. I'm going to tell you what this verse is. I'm then going to tell you how people get this wrong. And then I'm going to tell you what the true meaning and context of this particular verse is. This is a verse which is misunderstood all the time at churches on a Sunday and even through online platforms. And it took me many years before I understood the true meaning of this verse. Most people who have been in church all their lives still don't know what you are about to hear in this video. Have you ever heard the verse, "Another parable spoke he unto them, the kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal, till the whole was leavened"? This verse actually means something completely different to what most people think it means. And when I reveal the actual meaning of this verse, many people watching this are going to be very shocked. Before we get to that, we need to look at the context. On the build up to this verse, Jesus shared 3 parables about the kingdom of heaven. The first parable is a parable of the sower. The second is the parable of the wheat and the tares. And the third parable is the parable of the kingdom of heaven being likened to a grain of mustard seed. So what we can see is that through these parables, Jesus is revealing the kingdom of heaven to the multitude and to his disciples. If you are more of a visual learner, I've put together a free guide that reveals the 5 truths about the kingdom of God that will change your life. So if you want it, click the link in the description box and download it for free. Let's get back into the teaching. So now we are going to get into that particular verse that is one of the most misunderstood and misrepresented verses in the entire Bible. I'm going to tell you what most people think it means, and then I'm going to tell you what it actually means. Now, keep in mind that the entire context leading up to this verse is comparing earthly things to reveal what the kingdom of heaven is. Matthew chapter 13, verse 33 says, "Another parable spake he unto them, the kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal till the whole was leavened." So most people will misuse this verse to apply it to a situation where it moves through an individual's heart and eventually transforms their life, their character, and their actions. But this is a big misconception. This isn't what this verse is talking about whatsoever. Some people will also use this to say how the transformative truth of God's kingdom spreads through a community. But you can see that this doesn't fit the context whatsoever. If you are liking what you are hearing, then subscribe. Become a partner with us and subscribe to this channel so together we can help people to understand the kingdom of God and live it daily with clarity and purpose. Listen in to this next section because it has the power to shift your mindset. What this is clearly talking about in the context is the following. Matthew chapter 13, verse 33 says, Another parable spake he unto them. The kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal till the whole was leavened. The word meal in the Greek is the word eleron, which means flour. So Jesus goes on to state that the kingdom of heaven is likened unto leaven. The word leaven is boiled with heat, and it simply symbolizes corruption. Jesus went to the cross and then was hidden in the tomb for 3 days, which symbolizes Jesus taking our corruption. Matthew chapter 13, verse 33 says, Which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal till the whole was leavened. Leavened happens when you mix dough with leaven to make it ferment. You see, the kingdom of heaven couldn't come into the hearts of people until Jesus died on the cross, went to the tomb, and presented himself as unleavened bread. At that point, he was then available to sow himself into the hearts of people. You see, the kingdom of heaven couldn't come into the hearts of men and women until Jesus firstly died on the cross. When he died and took our corruption, only then was unleavened bread available. But he still had to get things ready before he could sow himself into the lives of people. In other words, God has taken our corruption in the tomb for 3 days, and now he wants to give you himself unleavened bread by coming to live within you. So I would love to get your thoughts. Have you heard this verse misused before? Did you know the true meaning of this particular verse? Leave your comments below. Would love to hear from you. But here's the problem. If you've misunderstood Matthew chapter 13, verse 33, then you may have misunderstood something even bigger. If you are in the kingdom of God, most people think it's a religious decision, a rule to keep, or a good deed they must do to be in the kingdom of God. But what if it's something far more personal to you? In the next video, are you in the kingdom of God? I'll show you what Jesus actually meant, and it will change your life.